you, Allison.
Okay, we will call the meeting in order. I'd like to remind everyone of this City of Perry staff's core values. It's a strong work ethic, problem solving, community oriented, shows professionalism and integrity. It's a team player, is accountable, and is a good steward. Roll call, please.
Shelley,
Yes.
Waller,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
and Orman.
Okay. And next is approval of the meeting agenda. Any thoughts or
Second.
discussion? Roll call?
Walling,
Yes.
Waller,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Klein.
Okay, then on to the consent agenda, consists of the minutes of June 1st, 2026, regular city council meeting. Payments for contract services, if there were none listed. Claims register and financials, $535,662.94. And then the Elks Lodge has applied for renewal of their retail alcohol license. And the fire inspection is done, pending police inspection. We have Perry Hospitality for the post, and it's pending both inspections. And then Perry Mark at 11:15:141, which is the EV market out there for a retail tobacco. Motion, please.
I make a motion to approve the consent.
I'll second that. Any discussion? Roll call.
Klein,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Shelley, Waller,
Yes.
Okay, city administrators report, Smith.
All right, just, I think it's been out a little bit. We wanted to make sure councilman was aware that the project at 16th Street and 141, townhomes at Perry Crossing, was awarded state tax credits. So that will have, I think, 39 units of affordable townhomes. So just getting started with them on some of their site plans and figure out their approval process and get going on that. But very exciting. And then hopefully in the next week or two, hi Garrett, last month, we'll be getting bids back for the Sumas Avenue project. So crossing the fingers we get good and aggressive bids for that construction. That'll be going on yet this summer into fall. And then just wanted to give a quick update on Purvis stuff. Been having ongoing conversations with both folks in Knoxville and Indiana One. We'll be working on scheduling a call to discuss the three communities and what each community has planned, share the research and information we gathered so far. So continue to work on that so I can and let everybody know how those conversations continue.
So her about this, budgeting and all of them, their stance.
I haven't had conversations, still trying. I've been in the research phase, so did reach out to them for some information. I haven't gotten any questions yet.
That phone call with just three communities, first up.
Correct.
And they're due to expire their service.
Yep, that's when they'll be changing them up to Mondays and Fridays in Perry, Knoxville, and Indiana.
All three will be on Mondays and Fridays.
And then I think they are, like, in all of their counties, they'll be cutting back 1 hour a day. So I think 7 to 4 o'clock instead of 7 to 5 across all 7 counties. But, yeah.
It's a bird shit.
What do they do if somebody has a late appointment? What they can do?
There's leave that.
Well, I know some people that had to wait for a long time. if it's just a certain time, I don't know.
I don't know how that works, like if they already have something scheduled, how after hours works.
But I mean, if they're before, but then I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that is worked out when they're scheduling their rides ahead of time. Or being able to make sure they can get a ride back.
Is there anything that we can, until we get something figured out? You know, July 1st date is coming real quick and it's going to affect people immensely. Is there anything that we can do in their eyes to maybe even if it's just 3 days a week, something that we can do so that it's not such a dramatic drop off?
Yeah,
for people that rely on.
That'll be part of that conversation. Like, it seems like there are different contract amounts for every county and every city from the spreadsheet I gave you last time, so trying to understand, like, does 50 cents per resident get us back to full service, or will it only $2? Or, like, I think kind of that inconsistency in contributions from all of the counties and cities is something that we're gonna try to figure out.
Right. I know that ridership doesn't seem like a lot of people, but people that does affect will affect. Yeah, we appreciate knowing that we're doing everything we can.
Any other questions?
Lindsay just messaged and said she's having people, especially we're not talking into the time, so. I'm pretty sure I have it. Last week, but if everyone wants
Being in,
to speak, I can. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, any questions for Sven? Okay, Mayor Council comments, I'm trying not to steal anybody's thunder, but the, family fest at the library went over very well. I was there, helped the Rotary out and a lot of kids and a lot of fun. It was a beautiful day, for it, and, would you like to say something, or you wait on?
Good,
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody organizing that, because it's a good way to go out what we have going on in town. And then the Friday Fest park was really nice. Again, a beautiful day. It wasn't 110 degrees like some days. Sun beating down on the band, but pretty well attended. The kids loved the phone, so thank you for Chamber for setting that up. Any council comments?
We have patrons coming through this Saturday, the 20th, so we'll have, between probably 2,000 to 2,500 bicycles coming through, so if anyone come down and hang out, a lot of music, also for drivers. Know that there will be some pieces as those people traverse Perry, go through our town, so.
They first go in the opposite direction, so what time were they anticipating?
Well, they say that they're going to be here from 11 to 3, but last year when they went to the opposite or the third stop, they said it was 10 to 2, and now we're the third to last stop, and they're saying 11 to 3. I would anticipate it would be like noon to 5. That's my best guess.
I was gonna guess like noon to 10 p.m.
That's my best.
Same.
So where are they starting?
They started Waukegan and they will go clockwise this year, around the Racket Road Battle Fair.
Okay.
Yeah, they said it's because the bridge is still closed and they want the traffic to go with.
Yeah.
Traffic against.
Virgin and Bell.
Okay, next up is Homewood Forum. Speakers will be asked to step up to the microphone. You state your name and address for the record. And you'll be given 3 minutes to address the council. So I know Liz has somebody sent in a letter requesting that Liz read it since she would not be able to make it due to the topic we're talking about.
Yeah, so I shared this with the council earlier, but it was a note from Miss Erica Ritter at 2023 Willis Avenue. She writes, hello, my name is Erica Ritter. I'm a resident of Perry, Iowa, and I rely on HERDA to maintain the little I have left. I am disabled, wheelchair bound, limitations, and wheelchair dependency. I cannot ride in anyone else's vehicle. Every time I need to attend a medical appointment, go to the principal, I must arrange and pay for transportation. HERDA has been the affordable, accessible. Just like many things in our world, we don't think about they personally affect us. How would you feel if it was your neighbor, friend, or family member that was affected by this loss? Please join me in trying to understand why services are drastically being cut July 1 in Perry and not other towns. How can we raise awareness to come together and, a little typo here, I think come together and help this issue in our community is what I read that to be.
Anybody else? Oh, man, please.
Communications,
Oh, go ahead. I didn't even turn that one off. That could be an issue.
that, I appreciate it. Hey, all right, my name is Nick Akins, I live in Willis, on Wheel Settlement. And, I rely on HERTA at least twice a week, if not going out of town, sometimes just going to the doctor's office, or the podiatrist's office, we're in town. And I know for a fact there are dozens of people that count on HERTA, and Mondays and Fridays, that's not gonna cut it. Me personally, my experience is, when I'm talking to different doctors or, different clinics I had to go to, they question why I can't make it out of Tuesday. And I have to explain that to them, but, we have, someone has to step up to the plate, and the funding has to be found somewhere. And just briefly, I'm not going to stay on the mic too long, but it encouraged me with all the festivals and activities and happenings that we have in Perry, Iowa. Perhaps it might be a good idea to think of something like, not necessarily a Friday fest, but something that people can get together and have a fundraiser for HERTA, and maybe the city even might be able to link up the difference then. And then there are different civic organizations, but for right now, let me tell you, that come July, it's gonna a lot of us in the funding, and I'm gonna back off the mic here just for a second, but I feel guilty for prevailing upon so many friends as much as I have, but I also know there's a lot of people personally that I know that don't have as many friends as I do. And it's not hurt. Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna be an inconvenience. It's gonna really hurt. And something needs to be done. And I'm not gonna find fault with anyone, but we have to do something. I'm gonna back off here in a second, but if you wish my letter to the editor is there at the perrynews.com. You have it written later on. So thank you very much, and I appreciate it.
Thanks, Nick.
Very done. We'll move on to old business. Item A is approval of paid application number 2 for the parallel taxiway reconstruction. The amount of $231,084.18 to Concrete Technologies, Inc. All documents have been reviewed and signed by the recommended for approval.
Make a motion, we approve pay application number 2 for parallel taxi reconstruction. Thanks. Excuse me.
Second.
Moving right along, we're getting toward paving on phase 1 of the project, so the northwest portion from the apron to taxiway A1. bunch of different things covered on here, but, can't really catch a break in the weather. That'd be fantastic. I know other projects probably got that same issue, but, they're moving along.
End date being affected by the weather or,
So we're at, I would say, yes, with the, specific areas, there's some locations that I'll talk about in a minute that we specifically did not do cement treatment because we're worried about the utilities and what they serve below. So those areas are a little bit of a challenge. But overall, they're looking pretty good on working days, and then, things get more, a little bit more. But, overall, this phase has the least impact to the airfield. So if overall they have 130 for the total project, so if they were over on this one, under on another, I wouldn't be as concerned, but I still.
questions, comments? Okay, and roll call.
Mahler,
Yes.
Klein, yes, Shelley,
Yes.
Wallen.
Yes.
Okay, item B is approval of change order number 2 for the parallel taxiway reconstruction. It has been reviewed by and approved by the FAA. We received written notice on June 11th, 2024. The net increase of $46,465.05, of which most of that is being picked up by the FAA. Motion, please.
I make a motion to approve change order number 2 for the parallel taxiway reconstruction.
I'll second.
Discussion.
So this change order is for additional pavement to widen the taxi lane from the western T hangers all the way through to the apron in front of the large 100 pump. During design, FAA didn't want to provide a temporary means of access during the phase where we would eliminate or be reconstructing the main access to the apron. And so the solution to that is, well, let's just build a connector that it's ultimately going to be serving that area anyway. And so they bought off on that, but they had asked us to stop at a certain location. Well, what they don't think about is, hey, if we stop here, you continue taxiing aircraft at a super slow speed, which they're going to have to do. The way or the physical characteristics of certain aircraft would cause the wingtips to get far too close to the corner of the large box hangar. That's the only way to mitigate that is to extend that pavement out further. So we'll move taxi lane center line to 55 foot beyond the hangar face, which is within a group 2 maximum standard. So it puts us in a much better position for the temporary means of access during the phase when the connection from parallel to the apron is down. All aircraft will have to taxi along, but in normal operations, that won't be the case. It'll be set up to handle that, but nobody is going to go. Large aircraft is going to go out of their way to taxi. So, and as this grant was at a 95-5 split, so this change order will also be at that 95. Budget wise, we're looking dead even for what we would get.
Discussion.
A lot of pictures to look for this.
So I'd say sometimes when we do change orders, it's pretty straightforward to just give somebody one sheet of paper and everybody understands. I just took any sheet that was reflected on and just made the change. So there was no confusion with anything. So
Well, it was clear once I studied it.
sure.
And I don't think Garrett said this, but it was reviewed by the FAA and they recommended for the report.
Roll call.
Wallen,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Klein, yes,
Okay, item C is approval of change order number 3 for runway 1432 phase 2. Balancing quantities for additional topsoil, strip, salvage, and respread. We talked about it at a special meeting before partially and has been approved. on the FAA, so it would be a net increase in the amount of $440,793. Motion please.
Make motion with approve change order, please. And
I'll send.
So in the original project document, there was a volume of topsoil that was paid for indirectly or incidental to the remainder of the topsoil. After grading operations had started, the contractor brought up that they were a little bit confused as to why or where this extra volume of dirt was. And so their estimation, they were not overly happy with how it was being paid out. So they had made some complaints about it. We approached FAA, and overall, we were on board with participating in the cost of the change order. So we're just recognizing that cost now compared to recognizing that during time of it. Either way, it'll be a 9. So, and FAA concurred with that. One thing that Liz pointed out that we brought up is the determination letter was from the previous determination that's actually being moved to a different project. So that's why it's dated 2024. But we actually just received that in May of 26, just for clarity.
Questions? Yeah, roll call please.
Klein,
yes,
Shelley, Smaller,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Okay, and D, since we approved change orders for the pay application number 24 for runway 1432 relocation phase 2, in the amount of $438,589.64, which is the above amount less than retained. And it has been reviewed by project manager with recommends approval. Motion please.
Motion to approve item D, approval of pay application number 24 for the runway 1432 relocation phase 2.
I'll second that.
And need any discussion?
This quick note would be after this, I was gonna have another 4 items for you, but I decided to pull out of those. So
Thank you.
yeah,
Collectively,
of course. The next steps will be a final change order to reconcile on, this is in my estimation. Once we close that one. We'll have a change order to, reconcile final quantities, and then release the remainder of the exchange, which we've been, deducting, for, as we kind of waited for these change orders to come through.
Thank you. Roll call.
Shelley.
Yes.
Smaller,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Klein.
yes,
Okay, and item E is to approval of change order number 1 for runway 1432 relocation phase 3. And it's for cement treated subgrade and concrete pavement. This is the amount of $103,195.80.
Make a motion to approve change order number 1 for the runway 1432 relocation phase 2.
I'll second.
Discussion?
I think there was a typo on this one. Orders going, so this is, in its entirety, change order number 1.
For clarity, we had, most of them, we have 2 projects, they're under the same contract. But when we do change orders, they're specific to the grant, so we start over with change orders when we go from grant number 16 to grant number 17. So that's why this is number 1, previous was number. So this change order covers the cost increase of both of those bid items. One of them is due to materials increase, the materials cost increase being the cement treated subgrade. The other is for remobilization of the concrete plant and for concrete prices, cement prices, aggregate haul, going up year over year. Had a issue during acquisition of the wetland mitigation credits, and that delay pushed the commencement of phase 3, or this part of the grant, into the following calendar year. So after that was recognized, the contractor had sent us quite a bit of information supporting their claim for additional, a cost increase for these different knives. And these were substantiated, approved by FAA. And actually, this is at 100%, share with FAA, in the city of Perry's. So as long as we remain below the grant amount on this specific, there's a question.
I just have one question.
Yeah.
What is cement treated subgrade?
So, what's that? Hard. So you take the cement and then they'll bring out a big reclaimer, almost like if you were doing a different type of asphalt project. They spread out the cement powder on the grade, they'll wet it down while using the reclaimer and they mix it into the soil and then it hardens up and you can beat the heck out of it. It's really good at helping expedite construction, but it also increases the bearing capacity of the soil.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's not fun to just stand around and watch it stand way, way over.
Questions? Well,
Walling,
yes.
Waller,
Yes.
Shelly,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, final old business is approval of pay application for 21. For relocation phase 2. In the amount of $102,607.82. And that's Inc. Cover the increased cost we just approved minus the little retention. Can I have a motion, please?
Make a motion, we approve pay application number 21 for runway 1432 relocation phase 3.
I'll second that. Any discussion? Okay, vote on.
Waller,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Shelly,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Thank you. On to new business. Resolution authorizing a fireworks permit for J&M Displays Inc. We will be seeing fireworks display. And, it'll be July 4th. Motion, please.
I make a motion, we pass resolution authorizing the fireworks permit for J&M Displays Inc.
I'll second.
Discussion.
This is pretty routine, good, it's about. Lindsay wants to say something about it, but it's part of the 4th of July festivities.
Dr. Strange should have fixed it. Okay. Roll call, please.
Klein,
Yes.
Waller,
Yes.
Shelly,
Yes.
Walling.
Yes.
Okay, and these resolutions setting salaries for employees, it's very. 7. The amounts were in the package. And they go from July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027. The motion, please.
Make a motion, we pass resolution setting salary for employees of the city of Warren for fiscal year 2027. Second.
Both union contracts called for a 5% increase. The department heads are going to receive a 5% pay increase. Most of the part-time employees are receiving probably between a 3 and a 5%. Some maybe not as much as others. It's just like depending on the range. I do have one request. I make a request that City Clerk Liz Hicks would receive a 10% increase instead of a 5% increase because I am planning on my retirement, and in order to have a succession plan, I've been giving Liz more of my duties. She's been working on with the whole change order or with the whole changeover process from our old software to our new software. Liz took the lead on that. Liz took over the healthcare renewal this year. Liz did payroll. I've been teaching her more and more of my duties. We work, our jobs are there's a lot of ebb and flow between our jobs anyway, and we can pretty much do each other's jobs. But I do plan on retiring in 2 or 3 years, so I want Liz to be prepared that she has been doing a lot more than just the city clerk will pay. And that would be, it would be about, the 10% overage would, be, let me see here. I gotta look at that real quick, I'm sorry. It would be an additional, $4,200 over what we had budgeted, but 2,100 would come from the general fund and then 1,050 from each of the road use tax and the sewer fund. So I think we can fit that in our budget, especially with some other departments that haven't filled positions quite yet, so, but I would make that formal request.
That is currently in the wage schedule, wage resolution.
The one in the packet, yes.
Susan, that's 10% of each 3 years that you and me. That's just for this.
This year, yeah.
Then 10% after the second.
That would be,
We'll talk about it.
we haven't talked about that yet, but I would recommend that the personnel committee look at that to get her closer to what my wage is.
And part of that process will be working through with the three of us and more possibly like kind of a more of a actual conceptual plan of Suzie, I guess, retiring. Liz and I usually say 2 to 20 years, but Suzie doesn't appreciate that much. So it's kind of the start of formalizing that succession planning, and I think for the first time in a couple of years, Suzie is at the point that she's able to take vacation over payroll, and it will be done. So, and now Liz can't take a vacation over payroll. She hides her passwords and goes to lunch. Definitely personally agree with Suzie. Everything she said has been incredible, and it's good to see that transition and kind of more of a kind of dual role that allows people to have more flexibility with their schedules and their time off to be able to actually use that.
Roll call, please.
Walling,
Yes.
Shelley.
Yeah.
Mahler,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Okay. Item C is resolution adopting a pest policy for city employees. It was brought up in our audit, we need to have a more formal pest policies. We put one together. So, motion please.
Make a motion to pass this resolution adopting a password policy for city employees. Now second.
Discussion.
This is just a simple password policy. We had our IT person, Mark, go over. We need to have it, especially on the computers that have access to the finance and payroll software. Mine does, I think Liz's does, but we just need to kind of tighten things up a little bit.
I am personally against this because I hate having to remember my passwords. So Liz and Suzie are gonna have to be the keepers of the passwords.
So I'm gonna go work for you. I just have my child keep all my passwords for me. So.
Yeah.
I have to call them if I don't remember one.
I'm gonna have to change my password for password.
Roll call.
Walling,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, next up is our ordinances. This is a possible third reading for ordinance chapter 116 local franchise code of ordinances. This is for our Benton County Rural Electric Cooperative at the industrial park plus surrounding area out there. We had a first reading last week. This puts them up at the same level as the land customers in town. And motion please.
I make a motion, we second reading of an ordinance to adopt and create chapter 116 electric franchise to code of ordinance.
I'll second that. Okay, for discussion? Okay, roll call.
Waller,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Okay, then I would entertain a motion to suspend the rules and.
I'll make a motion, we suspend the rules.
I'll second.
Discussion on it. Okay, roll call.
Walling,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Waller,
Yes.
And make a motion, we get to the result.
I'll second.
Discussion on this one.
Just like we talked before, I'll look this up to go see tonight when it has for the vote, obviously. And they'll start their work on getting, information, through their board and then out to their customers. I think probably around August 1st will be when the fee goes into effect.
Awesome. Good work, guys.
Roll call.
Walling,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Waller.
Yes.
Okay, item B is first reading for an ordinance in chapter 106, collection of solid waste. Proposing an increase in fees due to large increase that we're having to pay in the landfill. And we're just, the overall cost of doing this business. So, a motion please, first reading.
Motion to approve item B first reading for ordinance, maybe chapter 104. Collection of solid waste. 160.
All second.
Discussion? Susie had put a pretty complete packet of all the costs and the increases. Packet?
During the budget process for fiscal year 27, we discussed that Metro Waste was going to increase our landfill fee by $90,000 this year or in 2027, which would be a big hit on our general fund and the garbage department budget. We had to look at some different things to make up that difference, and one of them was raising the rates, of course. If we raised the garbage rates for single family residences and like duplexes and commercial users who use like the container, like the residentials, that would raise from $19 to $21 per month. And that would make up for, between that and the residential and the small amount of commercial use, that would make up about 60,000. And then the rest would be made up by adjusting the commercial routes. And that would be about $5 per dumpster for the yard and a half, about $10 per dumpster pickup for the 4-yard, and then goes up from there. So we will have to publish this and we'll notify the businesses of what their new rates will be. That way, if they want to change anything, they can.
And we have no guarantees from Metro that they're not going to send them to us next year. Is that
Not necessarily, but this increase was tied to separating the budgets between the Metro West Park landfill and Metro East Park landfill. So now, before kind of your profit and loss was all of that combined, and now they're kind of separating it out. Mostly revolving around costs for like opening new sections, closing new sections, and kind of reserve funds that they have to set aside for those costs.
and we have a contract.
Not necessarily a contract, but it's more like districts of where our Perry's garbage has to go. I guess we are a member of the
Commission.
landfill commission. So as a part of that, that's where we take our garbage and That's Metro Waste owns it, so they send the fees.
Could we explore? Getting in contract with them, so, mitigate future surprise.
The,
That thing that happened, could happen,
like, tonnage fees are not a contract thing, it's just set by the landfill commission. So not really. So this is for all cities that take their garbage, so I think like Ankeny Sanitation, a few others that contract in other cities, drive, like Waukees garbage up to Perry. And then other private haulers, their dump fees went up as well.
So this is applicable to anybody who's dumping.
Yep. This is a fee increase or cost increase that is equal across the board for all communities and haulers that use this.
in the city or county.
It was called the North South County landfill, but it was owned by Kelly Leonhardt. It wasn't, I don't think it was ever owned by the county. It was just called North South County. Maybe before that, yeah, I don't know, before that, who owned it, but there was a South County landfill as well.
Feels like a county situation, we don't really have a. Option.
Well, we could go to the commission and express opinions on the rates.
But there's nowhere else to take it, what we did.
And we did have,
Like, a monopoly.
we did have,
They hold.
we did have a meeting with them,
Are we doing this like extra out of town, so no one gets that?
just the rates.
If we allocate this stuff, we're just gonna do it ourselves.
Was it January, February, we met with Metro Waste Authority folks and I think kind of talked through the rate increase and, you know, it's either kind of all at once or spread over time. They decided to put Band-Aids, so.
I understand, it just seems, talk about this a lot since one, about all the things that keep on getting more expensive. We have to pass it on to everyone else and more expensive. Like at some point, we're a critical mass. Yeah, our economy isn't growing as fast as, it's raised in prices. So I just worry about the
I assume and hope everybody around the state will have such.
Yeah.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Shelley,
Yes.
Molly.
Yeah.
Wally.
Yeah.
Clyde.
Yes.
Have second possible third reading on this one. So, next meeting is not a normal meeting day. It's on the 30th at 9 a.m. And June 30th is a Tuesday. And we will not have the first July meeting on the first Monday. Okay. Vote.
Oh, I mean, just me.
I have it.